We've travelled from the west to the east and landed in South Carolina. We're in Columbia, home of the Gamecocks at the William Bryce Stadium for Manchester United and Liverpool. It's the final game of tour. Danny, how's it all been?
You know what, it's been brilliant. It really has. We've seen, from a footballing perspective, the camp grow. The lads get fitter. As a collective, getting more minutes in, and this is our biggest test to date.
The weather is also going to prove a test. It is incredibly hot, it's incredibly close.
Yeah.
We've also heard a bit of thunder. You saw a little bit of lightning.
Yeah, that's right. There's obviously, it's that time of year where you've got the thunder and lightning warnings. We've been given the prep in case something happens during the game, and we know what the procedures are, but all being well, it'll be clear and we'll have a good game today.
I mean, if it does rain, sort of ideal preparation to go back to England.
Well, you're trying to remind me of the rain, although back home apparently the weather's been good, so hopefully more of the same.
Yeah, well, that sounds nice. So let's talk about the game today. We've been watching in the last two games how the minutes in the legs has gone up a little bit. We saw players doing 45, then some were doing 60. Are we going to see players doing 90? Will it be 80?
Yeah, I think you're gonna see a few of the lads stretch today, probably a 70 and 80, that kind of thing. Knowing full well there's people able on the bench to come on and play a good part in the game. So yeah, I think it'll be a strong team for as long as they can, whilst watching watching the levels of the boys.
Now obviously we're about to go inside and we'll show you everything that's happening in the stadium. We've been in already.
Yeah.
What do you think of the place?
Well, there's no roof.
Yeah.
So it shows that the conditions and the weather out here throughout the season, but it's amazing, all things considered. It's a college stadium, but listen, it's 80,000 people can come and watch a college game.
Yeah.
It's a great arena.
It's not bad, is it? Right, so our LA journey is done and it's time for South Carolina. Welcome to Los Angeles to play our first game of our US tour against Arsenal.
That's a good ball forward from Rashford to Rasmus Højlund. He's going to run him as well. Højlund in the penalty area, gets the shot in and scores. And Rasmus Højlund opens his tally for the season.
Welcome to the Snapdragon Stadium. It's match day 2 of Manchester United's Tour of America, and today it's Real Betis in the Snapdragon Cup.
Marcus Rashford up against Silva, scores. Manchester United a level just 2 minutes after they went behind. Then he's going to get a ball in. What a ball that is as well from Harry Amas, comes through to Ahmad. What a goal, Manchester United. Ahmad whipped in, hit near post header, turned home by Casemiro. Spinning finish, and he gives Manchester United a 3-1 advantage.
There it is, the William Bryce Stadium here in Soda City. Named that because this is Columbia, named after the famed explorer Christopher Columbus. And today is the end of our exploration of the United States of America, the very final day of Tour 2024. And we're playing the old enemy. It's the biggest rivalry in British football. It's Manchester United and Liverpool. And I'm touchside here. Touchside, because we're in America, could have said pitchside, with Andy Cole and Danny Webber. Coley, tell us, what's tour been like so far for you?
I think for me personally, it's been good. But I'm not putting in the hard work anymore, so yeah, I've enjoyed it. No, the players have worked extremely hard. I think the games have been of good quality. I think the workouts have been really good. Now, no doubt leaving the tour, especially after this evening, if we get a good result, everyone will go back very, very buoyant.
If you've been paying attention to any match day build-up online, you might be aware that the weather has been somewhat unpredictable. We've been watching rain, thunder and lightning over the last couple of hours. Danny, what kind of impact does that have on the game?
It means you don't have to water the pitch, for starters. But no, it's hot, it's really close. But as long as that stays away while the game goes on, it'll be nice. It means the ball will move quickly. That will contribute to a quick, free-flowing game.
If it really comes down, there is the possibility of the game being paused until a shower passes. There's also the possibility that we have water breaks today. Coley, how much does that affect the flow and quality of a game?
I think it all depends. As we're out there now, early on today it was really, really warm. But I think the temperature's cooled down a little bit, especially with the rain and that. I think everyone will be looking forward to it. If it was in California, because I thought it was a little bit warmer in California, but the heat was drier there. It's a bit more humid here, so I think they'll be okay.
I'm watching the sprinklers have come on, Danny. You just said they haven't got water on the pitch.
The irony of it.
Glad you're here to be the expert voice.
There you go. The groundsmen have obviously got different plans.
I am going to warn you both. They look like they're turning this way. So I'm just letting you know.
We'll apologise to the viewers now then. We run off.
Danny, before we build up to this game, let's talk about what's happened in the previous two. Happy with the performances, the loading, the minutes in the legs?
Of course, it's about building up. We've seen some good football. We've seen areas, obviously, that you need to tweak. But I think the main thing is that the boys are starting to get to a point now where they're going to play longer, and they're free flowing. I always look at the attacking side of things, and are we creating chances? Are we scoring goals? And that's been a bonus because we look like a threat. We're playing further up the pitch. The patterns of play are good, so the signs are there.
Coley, we could mention Ahmad in particular, talk about scoring goals. For you, when you did a pre-season, how much did your form and how you felt affect how you started a season?
For me, yeah, massively so. I always use pre-season for what it is, time, minutes. Getting those minutes in the legs, getting goals. Because I always want to try get into the flow earlier. I think as I come to the start of the season, if I wasn't scoring a few goals, I was getting a little bit worried. And that's what pre-season is about, Homing your form again, preparing for the new season. I think, like I said before, I think the boys have done that really, really well so far.
Good news, Sprinkler's gone down. I don't think we're going to get wet. Talk to me about Ahmad with what you've just said in mind, because he's a player that everybody was raving about after the game at the Snapdragon.
Lively, he looks really lively. I think with Ahmed, I think what he's done is he's carried that form from last season into this season. I think everyone was expecting something like this to come, and then the way he finished the end of last season, fantastically. He's brought that form into pre-season. I'd most probably say, standing here, I think he's been a standout player in pre-season, but it's pre-season. You want this form to continue into the season, and I think he'll be pushing really, really hard. To start next week in the Charity Shield.
Well, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Because we don't know. There are players, Garnacho's at Carrington, Marcus is here, Anthony's here. There's a lot of competition for those spaces. There's also the possibility, Danny, that a Mason Mount plays out wide.
Yeah, of course, and then there's Jaden Sancho, and Xerxes going to come in and play across the front as well. So the competition's there, which is exactly what you want. It means that whoever's starting's not comfortable, that they've got someone sort of chomping at the bit behind them. So you've got to, to keep the shirt, you've got to be on fire. Which, mentioning Ahmad's, he's looked bright and he's scoring goals, creating chances, which is what it's about for a forward player.
One thing we've talked a lot about on this tour are the facilities, because in America, obviously, everything's bigger. Talk to me about the William Bryce. What do we think?
Oh, man. We could be here a long time. Yeah. You've already touched on the stadiums we've been to so far over the last couple of years in America have been absolutely unbelievable. And this is another one. A little bit different, but different in a way you can still turn around and say it's got that wow factor about it. I just think it's absolutely stunning.
Given that it's Manchester United and Liverpool, how excited will the players be to play here and against the old rival?
I can only go back to when we used to do pre-season, We weren't having these kind of games. We weren't playing Liverpools and all that in a pre-season friendly. We weren't in the US doing all that kind of stuff. So for me personally, I'll take the game very serious. It's pre-season, I get it. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. But mentally, you've got to go into the game thinking, right, I'm getting minutes that I need, preparing myself for the new season ahead.
Danny, we can see fans now in the fan park. We walked through it earlier. The place is absolutely buzzing, and it was for hours before the game. It's not something we see in the UK.
No, not at all. We've been here probably 4 hours before kickoff, and there's traffic jams outside. There's people wandering up and down, fans mixing together, which is not necessarily what we see back home. But United and Liverpool fans in the fan park. I know Coley's been out there meeting fans, and it's been good to connect from a club point of view, to connect to the fans out here.
Tell Coley what some Liverpool fans said to us.
Which part?
The ones that were on the back of that little golf buggy.
Oh yeah, they congratulated us on winning the FA Cup, which wouldn't happen back home. Like Liverpool shirt, Liverpool, and they were saying, congratulations on the FA Cup. I had to double take.
Yeah. If it was back home, it would have been telling us how lucky we were.
Or something far less polite. Right, now we're going to hear from Jaden Sancho. I caught up with him after training yesterday. Jaden, back on tour?
Yes.
How's it been?
It's been nice, enjoying the weather, back with the lads. It's been good.
And do you like the facilities here?
Yeah, I love the facilities in America. And obviously, when I have time off, I usually come to America and this is actually one of the places I do train before pre-season, so it's nice to be back.
So you're feeling at home?
Yeah, I wouldn't say home, but yeah, it's a nice facility.
Perfect. Have you enjoyed talking facilities like the stadiums and everything out here?
Yeah, it's different, you know, it's different, and it's good for, you know, the soccer fans that are out here, so it's good.
Enjoy being on the pitch?
Definitely, 100%.
Yeah?
100%, yeah.
Seen you in absolutely flying in training?
Yeah, yeah, you know, just getting back fitness, you know, just love playing football, really. Yeah.
So, apart from obviously you love playing football, I was talking to Marcus the other day, and he was telling me how he loves to do puzzles. Like in between games, yeah, does puzzles, 3D puzzles, 1,000-piece jigsaws.
Okay.
Do you do anything like that to keep yourself calm and take your mind off the football?
Nah, I don't do the puzzles.
You're not doing puzzles?
I just focus on the games. Yeah.
So, loads of American fans out here.
Right.
Nice meeting them?
Yeah, they've been well, they've been nice, you know. It's always nice to see, you know, people that don't really get to see the game week in, week out, back at home, so yeah, it's nice.
I'm saying this because it's absolutely baking.
Yeah, it is. I'm sweating a bit as well.
What's it like training in this heat?
I actually like it. I like the heat. Yeah, I like the heat. I prefer it than rain. So yeah, it's all right, to be fair.
Yeah, that's fair. You're looking forward to the last one in South Carolina?
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be a tough match. Obviously, the rivalry between us and Liverpool. So it's going to be a good test for us.
Awesome, Jaden. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much.
There you go.
He went on loan, played in a Champions League final. People raved about his form. Cole, are you glad to see Jaden back? Happy to see him getting on the pitch?
Yeah, look, I'll be very, very honest. I think we all know he's very talented. We all know he's got the ability. You know, now, coming to Manchester United is totally different than playing with Borussia Dortmund. You know, he had a tough season last season, like I said, went out on loan, played in the Champions League final, and I think he proved to everyone he can play the game. Now, he's got the opportunity to come back. Just go and play and enjoy yourself. I mean, go and do what you're doing at Dortmund, why Manchester United paid that money for you. And that's the way I view it. You know, if the manager's opening his arms and let you back in, crack on, do your best.
What do you think he has to do? When Cole says deliver, what does he have to do to get in ahead of the likes of Marcus, Garnacho, potentially Ahmad, Anthony?
Listen, the blueprint's no different for him than it is for any of the other forwards. You've got to score goals, you've got to create assists, which is the reason why Man United paid the money for him and bought him a couple of seasons ago, because his numbers were astronomical at Dortmund. So he's got to play with the freedom, he's got to go have courage to get on the ball, and then, you know, goals and assists are what keep you in the team. If you look at when Garnacho got in the team, he got in the team and was able to learn and keep going because he kept getting goals, kept buying him time. And it's the same for anybody. You have to score, otherwise people are waiting behind you.
Let's talk about Marcus in terms of getting goals. Scored against Real Betis, nice little penalty, and actually has been flying in training. We've been lucky enough to watch him, the three of us. How excited are you to see that Marcus playing for Manchester United this season?
Yeah, listen, we saw it not last season before. When he's playing at that level and he's in the right space and he's playing with that freedom, he's unstoppable. But it's something that you have to repeat year after year. You know, Coley will tell you one season's okay, but then you got to do it again and again and again, and it's a repeating it year after year. So hopefully he's free of any little niggles he might have had. He's in a good space mentally, and he can take this form, scoring goals into the season, because we all know he's got more than the ability.
OK, right, let's have a look at the teams today. Then we'll start with Manchester United. A few changes again for Eric Ten Hag's side. The midfield I'd like to talk to you about. So, of course, we've got Toby Collier is playing with Casemiro and Mason Mount. Coley, do you like that three?
Yeah, I think that they've all done well. I think especially with Mason, you know, he's fit. You know, and I think you can tell he's fit. His pre-season's gone really well. And I keep saying, when you come to pre-season, if you can stay away from injuries, you can get the pre-season behind you and start the season well. You've always got half a chance. Casemiro, you know, he looks well. He looks like he's lost a little bit of weight. He's looked like, yeah, I'm really up for this season. I'm going to prove a lot of people wrong. And you've got young Collier in there. I mean, he played really well the other day, so I'm looking forward to it.
The midfield, the forwards, sorry, are the three players we've been talking about. Ahmad, Jaden, Marcus. How do you think they'll set up? Who'll be central?
It'll be Jaden. Jaden will play slightly, you know, he'll just play as a false nine, as they want to call it nowadays, where he comes in a bit deeper, and then you'll probably see Mason running in behind him. So them two will play as a two effectively, but Mason will obviously drop in the midfield. So, yeah, I assume it'll be Jaden.
OK, let's have a look at Liverpool. Not a side short of firepower either. Mo Salah starts, Jota starts. Those two players are great for the players like a Harry Amas, who's gaining experience on this tour, to really test himself, aren't they? Massive. You know, if you're Harry Amas now and you're playing against Mo Salah, then you're not going to get a bigger test, whether it's physically. You know, Salah's smart, he scored goals. So the other night when he lost the winger for half a second, you know, he's got to be switched on to make sure that he's learnt from that.
Most definitely.
And he's obviously you know, he's ready because Mo Salah won't hold back.
No, I mean, it's a really experienced side. Harvey Elliott, Keller's in goal, Konate as well. Is it stronger than you would expect for a pre-season game?
No. I think what we're now, we're 2 weeks out. No. I think as a manager, and being a new manager as well, you know, he's got to say to himself, right, I'm going to set my stall out early doors. You know, because good possibility, what you see there, he's going to be starting in lineup. Goalkeeper might change, fullbacks might change, but if you look at the team in general, you try and say, well, yeah, I suppose we're Liverpool's strongest team.
I think you mentioned it's a new manager. He's desperately going to want to win this, isn't he? I know it's pre-season and he's thinking about getting his players fit for the start of the season, but to beat Manchester United early will set a marker for him, wouldn't it?
Well, I think even this is his first sort of experience of a Man United Liverpool occasion, and coming here, he'll see the magnitude of the two football clubs. It's his first big test, so of course he's going to want to lay a marker down to make sure that, you know, he continues in a positive light.
Right, I have been outside. We talked about Danny and I have been out in Fan Park. Went out earlier because we had some special tickets to give away to some fans that had ideally come from a far distance. We're in the Fan Park now. It's incredibly hot. It's very sunny, so I've got some bucket hats to give away. But right now, I'm talking to Jared, who's here with the US Air Force. Jared, tell us what you guys are up to.
Yeah, so we have a flyover happening today at the game. 4 F-16s are flying over. We're here at the tent, just spreading awareness of what the Air Force has to offer, handing out some free stuff, some swag, so we can spread the awareness. Yeah.
And you're going to the game today?
Yes, I am.
And where are you going to be sitting?
I'm not sure yet. Waiting on the tickets.
What if I told you I've got tickets for you and all of your colleagues here in hospitality?
That'd be awesome.
We'll sort you right out.
All right.
Okay, so you take a hat.
All right.
I've got a few more tickets to give away. Hi, guys. Where have you come from?
St. Augustine, Florida.
I don't really know what that means. Is that far?
Yeah.
How
Fun
far?
Beach.
Yeah, but no, I mean distance to get here. What was the travel?
5.5 hours.
5.5. 5.5. What are you saying? Yeah, we're going to take it. Okay, who wants a hat?
I do.
Okay.
Can I have one?
You can have one. Would you like?
Cheers, thank
would
you.
you like 3 tickets to sit in hospitality to watch this game?
Would love that. Yeah, absolutely.
You are so casual. You can have them. Is that exciting?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, there's a man in that tent. You see where the FA Cup is?
Yep.
He's got a black cap on, a white top. Go and talk to him. You waiting for a hat?
Oh, hey, I need a hat. I need some beer.
I'm literally giving it to you right now. That's
Awesome.
why I'm passing it to you.
Thank you.
Where have you come from?
Louisville, Kentucky. KFC State.
Okay. Is that far away?
Yeah, 10 hours.
10 hours? How did you get here?
We went there by car.
It's weird that you're in this and we're filming you and you're filming.
I'm filming you.
Yeah,
Hey,
sure.
I'll take it off.
So how long? It was a long drive?
10 hours.
Worth it to come and see United?
Awesome. Yeah.
Would you like 3 tickets to sit in hospitality to watch the game?
Yeah.
Everybody's so relaxed. So relaxed. Okay, so there's a man in that tent down there. He's in a baseball cap and he will sort you out. Go find him. He's in a white top. He's called Matt.
Okay.
Go find Matt.
We'll find Matt. Thanks so much.
Right, I need to do some maths. Hang on. Okay, right. Come on. Last one. Anyone want a hat? Want a hat? Hat? Hat. You can have a hat. That was too many hats. 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 Okay, right. How many of you are there? How many of you are there?
6 of us.
6 is loads. Hang on, I need to do some maths. Okay, right. Where have you all come from?
Right here, an hour away.
Oh, amazing. Have loads of hats. It's just raining hats. Hats. Scousers, have some hats. Right.
No.
Take it. Right. Let's find one more person. These guys. Hi, guys. How you doing?
You all right?
Yeah. What's your group? Talk to me. How many of you are there?
Just 2 of us today.
And where have you come from?
Ireland.
Just for this game, or are you on holiday?
No, we live in Jacksonville.
Okay, is that far?
It's about 5 hours from here.
And how often do you get to see United play?
Every weekend.
You got season tickets?
No. Haven't been to Old Trafford in a few years, but
Okay.
it's the first time in a while now, so...
You got tickets for this one?
Yeah.
Where are you watching? Talk about your seats. How easy was it to get tickets?
We got them months ago, so
Yep.
it wasn't too bad, but
Okay.
we have good seats, front row.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too bad.
Do you want hospitality seats?
Would love them.
Have 2. Need to head to the FA Cup tent over there, see a man named called Matt. He's in a black cap and a white top. Let's sort you out your tickets.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's called Matt.
Thanks, guys.
Perfect. Right now, we are going to hear from Danny Webber, who's been chatting to Eric Ten Hag.
And in terms of even like your coaches, everything's been refreshed. There's new impetus, you know, with Ruud and Rene and the likes coming in as well. How important is it that they're implementing? You're all reading off the same hymn sheet.
What we have done the last 2 years was to start this project, and everyone who contributes, I'm very grateful for what they did. But this is the right moment to set new ideas, to be innovative, to set a new dynamic and new energy, because we want to go a next step, a next level.
Yeah, and you can see that. So in terms of the young players as well. You've had a mixed group. Some players not coming back from the Copa America, the Euros. If I was 18 now, coming into you and my manager, what would you want from me as a young striker?
First of all, so the schedule, the FIFA calendar is so complicated, and seasons go from one over in another, and that gives a great opportunity for young players to show themselves. And what I want to see from young players, of course, that should be normal, that should be foundation, that you have the energy, that you have the right focus, that you have the right spirit, but also what I want to see here, that they use their brains. Because that is necessary to enter the pitch on Old Trafford, to enter the Premier League, to enter the Champions League, and to match the standard, to get into the right levels.
So when you say use the brain, is it like learn quickly? Like if make a mistake but don't make it twice, don't make it 3 times?
Exactly. That is, football is very complicated sport art. Top football is even more. And nowadays from football players, there are so high requirements on their brains in the game, decision making, mentally, lifestyle. So complicated. So you have to bring your brain skills in to be and acting on top level.
And do you rely on the older players as well to be able to feed some of that information, so the message isn't always coming from you and the coaches?
That is, we have a K model, and it's based on structures, and they have to bring it over, the structures, to younger players on and off the pitch.
So this year, based on the style on the pitch, what things are you trying to improve on? Is it, defensively? Is it transition? Is it obviously in front of goal, or is he trying to upgrade every level?
Yes, we step up. We have to step up in every level. And again, we have shown we can beat the best teams in the world. But if you want to do it consistently, you have to bring this in every game, and therefore you have to improve your way of play in every training session. And of course we have some quality abilities in our squad, and we have to use those abilities, and we are a very good transition team, attacking transition team. But we are also things what we have to improve is like the defense transition and the proactiveness in defending. But once again, against the best teams we can do it, and now we have to bring that on the pitch in every game, and that is our challenge. And that is not one you bring it straight into a game. It should be a way of life, and it starts on a daily basis.
Huge boos just rung out here at the William Bryce as the Liverpool team entered the field, but massive cheers echoing as Manchester United arrived. Danny, we walked through this earlier. Everyone was just so excited, and they're so, I want to say, pumped up for this.
Yeah, of course. You got to understand, United don't turn up, all the time, as neither do Liverpool. So to have a game of this magnitude on people's doorstep in South Carolina is a big deal. You could see, you could see it in the streets, and you're starting to feel it in the stadium now.
Coley, it's Liverpool. It's not a league game. It's not an FA Cup game. It's not a European game. But it's still really important, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, you're playing Liverpool. Look, put it this way. You don't want to be losing 5 or 6. Don't
want to be losing at all.
There you go. But then, on the flip side of that, it is pre-season. Now, what I draw, like I said, I'll go back to what I draw from pre-season about fitness. I mean, getting time in your legs again. Naturally, the manager's going to make substitutions and things like that, and fingers crossed we can stay away from injuries.
Well, the managers for this game are allowed to make 11 substitutions across 3 different substitute breaks. If there are further injuries, you can substitute another player. Would you expect to see so many substitutes this time around? Against Real Betis, pretty much everybody played that was available.
I wouldn't say so. I think more people are going to get more time. As Coley said before, you're a few weeks out from the season starting properly. People need 90 minutes under their belt, or at least we get into the point where you're playing 75, 80, and that means there'll be probably minimal subs until late on.
Coley, a few players that aren't here, obviously, that are back at Carrington, but you start looking at the team now and thinking, OK, this is what we might see Community Shield, or we might see against Fulham?
Definitely. He will, if he's anything like Sir Alex, he will have 2-3 weeks in advance what he's looking to do. Like I said, next week is the curtain raiser. So straight away you're thinking, right, you want to get off on a high, you want to try and win the Charity Shield. A lot of people might look at that and say, oh, it's under the Charity Shield, it don't matter. No, it matters. Got to be looking, it's a trophy. You know, so yeah, I genuinely do believe he'd be looking forward to saying, right, next week, what will my team be? Will players like Bruno and that be involved? I would be very surprised.
We can see the dressing room shots now. Looks really nice in there. Coley, I want to talk to you about what you've just said. We won the FA Cup. Previous year we won the League Cup. Does winning encourage winning? So, for example, put a marker here today, beat Liverpool, make a statement, and then Community Shield, Manchester City, try to win that, another trophy. And does that just give you, as a squad, loads of confidence?
Yeah, 100%, you know. People will always talk about, oh, it's under the Charity Shield. It makes no difference. No, you want to win the Charity Shield, but it's not a trophy. What? It is a trophy. Because when you leave the end of the pitch, if you win it, you walk off with a trophy. So, you know, and that's the mentality you have to have. To play for a club like Manchester United, you've got to have that winning mentality. I mean, end the season on a high, win the FA Cup, great chance to come next week, Man City again, could possibly win that, and then you kick on from there.
Have you ever had a game of football, Danny, where you've thought, well, it's not the most important game I've ever played, so you're not so worried? Because I think, like Coley just said, oh, it's only the Community Shield. It's probably something fans will say when they don't win it.
I don't think you can go in. You can understand the magnitude of different games, but once the game kicks off, that's it. You switch on. Even if we were playing locally, you want to win. Nobody wants to come off the pitch feeling like they've lost and taking that feeling away with them. So I don't care whether it's the World Cup final or you're playing with your friends. If you've got that in you, you want to win. You want to win. And that winning feeling breathes more, and makes you demand from people around you as well. And I think that's important when they're out there. They demand from each other.
Yeah.
Okay, right, well, we're going to get the manager's opinion now. He's speaking to Sam Carney.
Eric, final game of tour, United against Liverpool in front of 80,000 people. How much are you looking forward to this one?
Manchester, Liverpool, there's always a fight. So really exciting is, of course, the rivalry is always there. Doesn't matter if it's for the league or for a cup or a friendly. So it's a very good test as well. We know Liverpool's a very good team, so we're really looking forward.
The weather's been on and off here today. It's been sunny, it's been stormy. Has that made preparation difficult?
No, we're just focusing on the game. So there's also the circumstances where you have to deal with in a normal game. And deal with the circumstances and play your game. And play according to the game plan, the philosophy, and of course think about the opponent, but in a way to make it our game.
And you made 4 changes to the team from Betis. Hopefully no concerns in there that the players were coming out.
Pre-season is always tough, but yeah, Harry Maguire, precaution. We leave him out. We had, of course, some injuries we picked up, but that is part of top football. But we have to develop our team, and we make some good progression. But I'm sure Liverpool will demand much more from us, so much more intensity, and so that's a really good step forward and a test forward. And after tonight, we need a lot more when we go up to the league.
Thank you. Good luck.
So no Harry Maguire, the manager confirming missing this one as just a precaution. We saw him earlier, Danny, though. He came out and he signed hats and shirts and scarves and flags for fans that are queued up at the front of the barriers here. Is this just an opportunity now for the likes of Johnny Evans and Victor Lindelof? Because Harry probably would have played.
Of course it is. And the manager keeps talking about squad, bigger squad and that. And when you do pick up injuries, i.e. which we already have in pre-season, you know, the other boys got to step up. And this gives you a great opportunity in pre-season to do just that.
Disappointed to not see Harry because he's played really well?
No, he has done well, but again, it's precaution. The sensible thing to do is just step back for a day or two and then kick on again when whatever's niggling you is feeling right. Otherwise, if you be a hero and you're trying to play through it for a pre-season game, next thing you've lost 2, 3, 4 weeks, and then you put yourself back. So it seems like a sensible decision just to pull out for this one and then kick on again possibly next week.
We've got new coaches for the season coming, and they're here already. We know Ruud's here, René's here. What have you seen in the 2 games so far and things you've seen at training? Does it look like we're trying to do anything differently to how you saw us playing football at the back end of last season?
I think we're playing on the front foot. If you look at the way we're playing, we're going less back to the goalkeeper unless we need to. I think in the Arsenal game you could see, and the Betis game, we're trying to play through, and we're trying to turn people in behind as well, which is something that we've ignored for a while. Where you got runners, and you know sometimes the simplest thing is to come in and spin Coley in it, and then you're in, rather than having to play through everybody, and you've got to be able to have that balance within the game to play and to obviously go over the top.
Now let's look at the opposition. Arne Slot is in charge. I don't want to compare it to David Moyes coming in after Sir Alex because Klopp's legacy is not comparable, but he did do a fantastic job at Liverpool. I don't think anybody can argue against that. How difficult will it be for Arne to try to live with those expectations, do you think?
Well, it all depends what their expectations are in the first season. You've got to look at it that way. You know, he did a fantastic job in Holland with the final, and he's come to Liverpool, and what I'm hearing, just listen to Gary Mack upstairs, you know, the way he plays, a little bit different to Jurgen, but to play some really good football. Now, we're going to see that this evening. Naturally, pressure will always be on him because he's replacing Jurgen Klopp, but he'll be given time to turn things around, do it his way and bring his own players.
They're the only club the only Premier League club not to make a signing yet during this transfer window. When you've had a manager for a long time, because some of the players have been there with Jurgen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, been there the whole time. How difficult is it when you're so comfortable and so used to one manager to have someone else come in?
I think for me personally, it's an opportunity to go back to that drawing board and learn again. You know, different manager, different ideas. Like I've touched on. What I'm hearing about Slot is that he plays really good football. You could say a typical Dutch manager, wants to get the ball down, wants to play and play and play. So it'd be very interesting. I'm looking forward to watching him receive him. Because like I said, listen to Gary Mack just upstage, he was saying that Liverpool played very well against Arsenal. Arsenal played well for 15 minutes, and then after that, Liverpool dominated the game. So it'd be interesting to see.
They only scored one against Real Betis. It's not how football works, obviously, but we scored 3. Do you think that we're in a better position than at this stage going to the start of the season, given that we've got continuity with the manager and so on?
Listen, you don't know. You don't know how they've reacted to Arne, whether he's made them better, you know, whether he's picked up the pieces quickly and made them better, or whether there's going to be a bit of disjointedness. But, you know, from what Coley's saying there, and it looks like it's business as usual for them. They're quite a cohesive bunch, and they have been for a long time. So I think before things fall apart, I think that group would have to fall apart. You know, they already have a way of winning. They know how to win football matches. So, you know, just with the manager coming in, I don't think it'd fall to pieces straight away. I think they'll be strong, and you've got to expect that.
Coley, I'm going to turn the conversation back again about a minute to what Webbs was saying about what he's seen United doing and playing on the front foot. Is there anything you've seen them starting to do and you think, yeah, I want to see some more of that, that's how the team should be playing?
Danny already touched on it there, you know, runners in behind. I think we've all been caught up in the modern day game where everyone wants feet. And when you start stretching teams, you know, you put other teams on the back foot, they've got to drop a little bit deeper, and then you can get your creative players to get on the ball in short areas, get turned and look to slip people in. So that's what I've enjoyed. I've enjoyed watching Mason Mount stretching behind. I've enjoyed watching Marcus running behind, because however Marcus looks at it, anyone else looks at it, when he runs in behind, he's a threat.
Talk to me about Mason Mount. What does he bring to this squad?
Energy. If you look at his best performances for obviously Chelsea when he was there, and then his time at Derby when he was on loan from Chelsea, he brings loads of energy. You know, he wants to stretch teams in behind them. That's what you got to do. You know, and I think that's what we missed last season. So hopefully, you know, we can bring a lot more of that this season.
Danny, if you're playing as a centre forward, you've got Mason behind you, potentially not today, but you've got Bruno behind you, Casemiro, Kobe. There are people behind you that are going to be looking to play you in. Is that the ideal scenario?
Yeah, you want people who can find you with a pass. I think as a forward, if you're making runs and nobody ever sees you, or they see you and they can't find you, it gets a bit disheartening. But if you've got people like Bruno, Mason, you know, Kobe, all the likes, Casemiro, who can find you, then you run with more conviction. So yeah, you need those people. And it's also up to you to stretch them, to allow those boys to have more space in the middle. So if you keep coming into their space, then you can, you know, the flow's not there. So it's up to you. You have a responsibility to them, but them to you also.
Definitely.
Now, Danny, you've been with me every pitch side. Coley, you've been doing a lot of stuff representing the football club. But nobody on tour has been having more fun than Wes Brown. We saw him with the Compton Cowboys. While we were in San Diego, he went down to the LA Angels. Have a look at this.
My name is Luca Marton, and I am the program director of Street Soccer USA in Los Angeles. And we are here today unveiling our Escondido course down in San Diego with the help of Manchester United.
We relate soccer skills to life skills and teach them a curriculum that we call the street soccer skills. And, you know, football is life, and the relationships that you create through being part of a team and playing footy, you know, translates off the field and helps you in your life. And so that's what we aim to achieve here.
Well, we're brand new here, but we've been running operations in Los Angeles for almost 6 years now. And our main goal is to provide a social outlet through soccer, to provide access to a game that in this country is highly restricted, mainly along socioeconomic barriers. And so we operate mainly in the public housing sector in Watts and in Compton. And we run programs 5 days a week through about 2,000 youth participants, unique participants a year.
We're using this tournament as a jumping off point to partner with all these amazing individuals who are playing out here. We have refugees from Africa. We have a school designed specifically for homeless kids. And these are all kids who can't afford to play club soccer. So we're going to go into their communities and run free programs for them.
Obviously our foundation has Street Reds, and we do very similar things in and around the Greater Manchester area, looking to give kids who maybe had a tough start in life the opportunity to fulfil their potential through football. We were lucky enough last year when we came on tour to partner with Street Soccer USA over in the Bronx whilst we were playing in New Jersey and New York. So it was brilliant to be able to reconnect. What we're trying to do on these things is to build sort of a legacy partnership, so when we move on from wherever we've played, there's some foundations in place to continue supporting the charities. Last year we were able to partner our New York Supporters Club with the New York branch of Street Soccer USA. Today we've had the San Diego Red Devils Supporters Club down, which is going to be the start of an ongoing partnership. And when we were in LA, we were able to introduce two amazing organisations that coexist in the same state but hadn't previously worked together. So the Compton Cowboys, who again do something similar, although they use horses rather than footballs, but to give those kids a purpose, an opportunity, some support, someone to spend the time with, and they attended the event at Watts, and again there's going to be an ongoing partnership there. So once we've gone back home, hopefully there's some foundations in place.
We're in Escondido, and even from where we arrived, you could see there's a big competition going on, and it's brilliant to be here. I mean, straight away the kids are all playing football. You can see it's good for the community. Great setup. And I've been talking to many of the kids now, and they're all having a good time, and it's definitely a brilliant thing that they're doing down here.
It's unbelievable to have Manchester United in Escondido. I mean, these guys have been dreaming about this for weeks. They can't believe that Manchester United are here in Escondido. It's kind of a forgotten about part of San Diego. And to have an international brand here in Escondido, the kids, the parents, the siblings are just loving it. And, United's contributed to us monetarily. They've given tickets for all these kids to see their game against Betis. We got to see them train in LA at UCLA. And so it's just an unbelievable experience that most of these kids will never have the chance to do.
When I was younger, my dad used to let me come and play 5 and 6 aside with my friends, and we used to play like grown-ups, and just the enjoyment from it. It gets you away from doing other things as well. You get to meet new people, new friends, and all the boys and girls that I spoke to today are absolutely loving it.
Our greatest ever player and servant, probably Sir Bobby Charlton, said the greatest gift a child can have is football. There's a lot of things that kids who are playing here today will never be able to afford, but to be able to come down, play football, meet new friends, play against each other, learn those life skills is incredibly powerful. So it's fantastic that guys like yourself are putting in the time and the effort all across America to make this happen, and we very much want to continue the partnership and help you deliver it.
I was half right. That wasn't Wes with Angel City. That was Wes with the USA soccer schools. He is just having the best time visiting people, encouraging them, getting them excited about football and Manchester United, and telling them his stories and trying to make a difference in their lives, which is wonderful. But he's having a great time doing it. Right, I've just watched the two of you watching the shooting drills. Pair of forwards, what are you thinking? What do you like to see?
Hitting the target, seeing the goalkeeper work. sometimes, you know those drills are not realistic. You don't get that kind of time. But for me, if you're going to do it, so long as you're hitting the target.
Same thing, Danny?
Yeah, and I was watching, and it's a competition up with the keepers, and the keepers were on top there. So maybe they're saving it for the game, but yeah, the keepers came out on top, which is rare.
Coley, what were you like in this situation? Did you take your warm-up super seriously? Was it just about feeling loose and feeling confident?
Well, if it was shooting on the target, and I never did it. I mean, I was very superstitious that way. I wouldn't shoot at the target before the game.
You used to stay in the dressing room.
Yeah, stay in the dressing room. Yeah. I won't come out. Pre-season. I mean, do my little bits inside and just prepare myself mentally for the game ahead.
So where did that come from?
When I realised that warm-ups actually made me tired. I mean, so yeah. So I think it's best if I stay in, man, definitely.
Were your managers always happy with that, or did you ever have some that said, no, you need to be out there?
I think when you're at that stage, it's whatever makes you happy. The manager was fine about it, you know. I mean, because, hey, Man United, we all know that we don't start particularly fast, you know, until a certain part of the season. So, yeah, case of that's what I needed. You know, everyone else used to go out there, warm up and whatever, but I know I was always ready when it comes to 5 to 3 and we're walking out.
Webb, what about you?
No, I warmed up. Yeah, I needed it sometimes, but I think Coley would only be afforded that because of the way he performed. If someone did that and he didn't perform, then the people would be like, what's he doing? Get out here and do the warm-up. But no, I've always been in the mix, did the warm-up, I need it.
Casemiro has just scored an absolutely outrageous lob behind you. Do you think we've got players behind the forwards that we talk about, behind the likes of Jaden, Marcus, Ahmad, who this season you'd expect to chip in with a few more goals because they have the quality?
100%. Listen, you have to chip in with goals from all over the place. And I don't think anybody's ever doubted the ability of the players. The boys have got crazy ability or they wouldn't be playing at this level. I think it's the consistency that needs, that people are ever questioning. And if they do that consistently, week in, week out, create chances, score goals, then...
Yeah, I think this season everyone has to chip in because however we look at it, we don't know if we've got an individual who can get 20, 25 goals as a centre forward because, Rasmus, tough season last season, a lot of pressures on him. Our new signing, we're not sure how he's going to set into the Premier League, so we're expecting Jaden, Marcus, players like that, Bruno. Well, Bruno always gets goals anyway. More goals from those areas as well, everyone can chip in.
If Rasmus was fit, we assume that he would start this game, but he isn't, so Jaden plays as a false 9.
Yeah.
Does that change what the rest of the team is doing, or is that where you would see Rasmus operating in this game?
No, obviously you have to tweak it slightly. He's a totally different style of player. So yes, you have to, but you would expect Rasmus to run in behind as you would expect Jaden to run in behind. The responsibility is the same for that position on the pitch. So whilst they're slightly different in style, and when you get your head up and you look, you might have to give the ball to them differently because Jaden isn't going to be wrestling with the centre half. He's not got the physicality of Rasmus, but also Jaden brings something different that Rasmus doesn't. So, but when you're on the pitch, you know that quickly. You know who your players are. You know how to play with them. Yeah. But the responsibility is still the same. You still got to run in behind. You still got to come to feet.
Yeah. I think when Rasmus does come back, you know what I want to see him do this season. I don't want him to be so physical with the centre half.
Yeah.
Because the way the game's played now, you don't have to be. I mean, centre half pushes you get a foul. So when you're wrestling, all that energy you're expelling wrestling with the centre half, I'm saying to myself, well, I don't want to do. I'm running behind.
Yeah.
That's why I want to use my energy.
And when, like you say that, when he did it against Arsenal today, that's the example, and how you use your power.
I mean, use it that way. Yeah. Not like fighting someone. No. Running behind, use your strength, use your power, and you're getting your score goals.
Yeah, thank you. Right, I told you Wes went to Angel City. We can show you that now.
Senior manager of community outreach here at Angel City, and today we're out here supporting local grassroots community soccer, and we're leading a clinic for GPLA in connection with Manchester United.
It's fantastic to come out. We've just seen a little bit of the coaching session they put on, and I think it's brilliant with the community. You can see the girls really enjoyed it. We're going to be here for a little bit longer, and then obviously we're going to watch the game.
women's sports, girls sports is on its way up. So it's really great to be a part of that for United to partner with Angel City to see these young ladies out here playing the beautiful game.
Just Wes Brown having a great time once again. Talk to me about this guy. We've spoken about him a little bit. His record against Liverpool is excellent. Do you expect that to continue? I know it's a pre-season friendly, so the situation is slightly different.
Yeah, it's slightly different. Pre-season, like I said, about trying to score goals. If he gets one today, he'd be more than happy. You know, but I'll be honest, I think it's a massive season from this season. Last season, disappointing one. Season before that, electric. So I think people be looking at him this season and say, hey, come on, what you got? You know, because when we're talking about Mbappe's or Ronaldo's, Messi's, they took no seasons off, by the way. You know, and if you're going to get to that level, want to stay at that level, you ain't got time to take a year off. So he's got a massive season for him.
Coley, something Danny and I have talked about a bit over this tour is the balance the manager faces in terms of picking an 11 to come and win this game of football, but also the thought about everything that we're doing here is preparation for what comes next when we get back to England. So what is a success for him out on the pitch?
I think in pre-season, is minutes for players, no injuries, you know, and that's really how they're playing. You know, that's success for him. He wants to go back to England tomorrow. They're back in Tuesday, whenever, knowing that he's got a full quota of players. Unfortunately, he hasn't. He's 2 down at the moment, but just the way they play, the way they've conducted themselves, you know, I think he'd be more than happy with that. Then you start building from there, so it's building blocks. Next week's game against Manchester City, right, what have I got, what's my personnel? Like I said, he possibly already knows his team, you know, and then from there you start building and building and building.
Webbs, talk to me about the rivalry element of this game. We've spoken about it a bit, and it's exciting. It's Manchester United-Liverpool. Doesn't matter where in the world this game of football is played, it will matter. But Marcus, for example, or Ahmad, if they don't score a goal and the game, say, is 0-0, no penalties tonight, just in case anyone was wondering, are they just happy, did the game, got through it, extra fitness, uninjured, or does it just still have that little bit of, yeah, could have done with one there, or there was an opportunity?
Yeah, no, I think happy's not the word. They're not happy, but if they get through, they will take some positives from it. But ultimately, as a forward, you want to score a goal, and you want that feeling when you leave the pitch. I think they're going to do the anthem.
I don't know when, but keep an eye on the sky because a flyover is following the national anthem. So at some point, the US Air Force will be coming over our heads.
I don't know if it can compete with that. That was a voice.
I can.
You know, I've seen you do karaoke on this tour. You've got a voice.
Never, not to that level. Give me a Bob Marley and we're okay, but that's your lot.
Do you want to do a little bit?
Definitely not.
You don't want to take advantage of the opportunity?
Not today.
Fine. We don't have that level of pageantry in the United Kingdom. Colin, would you like to see it? Because it does get the crowd going, doesn't it?
In America, yeah. You know, because they're very patriotic. I mean, but like you said, in England, I'm not sure we could get away with it. You know, I mean, everyone be too busy booing. I mean, because you know what people are like in England, you know? When it comes to the national, when the national team plays, most people boo it, so...
Well, you get some clubs that do the pyrotechnics. Southampton are back in the Premier League. They love a bit of that.
Yeah, you never know. You never know what Man United might bring back. You never know. Yeah, a bit of dancing or whatever.
Webbs, would you like to see a bit of that?
For the pyrotechnics?
Yeah.
No, I like the tradition. I like to come out, you know, hear the little bit of something going on at Old Trafford.
Yeah, but that is an American thing, isn't it?
Yeah, over here, yeah. It's massive. It's a show. It's a show for everybody.
Exactly.
The fans, like, they've been here since for 4 or 5 hours, and this is the main event. So yeah, of course.
Now, you might not remember the game, but you'll certainly remember the trophy when you see it. This is a little reminder of what happened last time we played Liverpool on tour. It was in Bangkok.
Falls for Bruno Fernandes, chips it just above Martial, and then 1-0 United. Sancho pulls the trigger. Fernandes, lovely reverse ball. Here's Martial. Martial, was he tripped? Martial. Now Fred, the little clip. Oh, fantastic. Brazilian brilliance from Fred. Martial is onto it. He's got Rashford to his left. He might not need him. Martial! What a finish! Amad, Pellistri makes it 4.
Do not adjust your television, phone, tablet, or whatever else you could be watching on. The stadium has just got an awful lot darker. They've turned the floodlights out. They've turned on some red lights. I'm expecting some level of pyrotechnics and possibly that US Air Force flyover that we spoke about a moment ago. We are approximately 8 minutes from kickoff. If you're in the dressing room, do you become aware of all of this?
You can't not hear it.
I'm saying, if you're in the dressing room, do you become aware of all of this?
Yeah, I think the players are used to it. I mean, in America, man, it happens. You know, they get everyone involved in America.
Well, it's still absolutely gridlocked outside, as you can see, but the stadium is incredibly full.
That's why you got to leave early.
Webbs, we can see the referees are there, players are behind them. Can you switch off and ignore all of this if you're about to walk out and play football, or does it hype you up?
You have to harness the energy. There's an energy in the place. You've got to use that to fuel you when you go out and play. But you know, the mental prep's been done already.
I tell you, I'm being honest here. We never had pre-season games like this. I mean, not being this, we used to play Prestons and Wigans and all that. If I'm in pre-season now and I'm playing Liverpool, there's a good chance I'm getting sent off. A good chance.
You're too excited.
Man.
Amazing. Right, Coley's not going to be sent off, but we are saying goodbye to him right now. It will be Danny and I at half-time and at full-time. Coley, thank you so much.
Thank you very much. No problem.
We are going to hand over now to your match commentators, people who are the biggest hype men in football. It's Liam Bradford and Ben Thornley.
Take the biggest bit, Sam. Thank you very much indeed. That works for me. Teams on their way out at this quite incredible college football stadium that holds 77,000 people. That's almost as much as Old Trafford for college football in America. It is absolutely astonishing, and we've got the pyrotechnics going and the teams on the way out, and the man next to me, who I'm sure is as excited as always when Manchester United face Liverpool, is Ben Thornley. Good morning, Ben. How are you?
I'm all right, thank you. How's yourself?
Yeah, I'm all right. It's getting a bit late, isn't it? So we're a little bit bleary-eyed, but hopefully the football will keep us wide awake and going. It's always a special game when Manchester United play Liverpool, whether it's pre-season, FA Cup, in the league, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't, and these are the games you want, especially when you get into the back end of your pre-season preparation. These are the tests that you want ready for the new season to start. Liverpool today and Manchester City in the Community Shield next week is the perfect gateway to the season starting.
That is a proper haircut for Mo Salah, by the way. Marcus Rashford ready to go too. All of the reports saying Marcus Rashford looking really sharp in training. Let's hope that that converts into the match and we give Liverpool a bit of a game. The midweek game against Betis, Ben, Manchester United were really sharp for an hour, weren't they?
They were very good. They really were. Against, you know, not that you saw it on the night, and I thought they were 3-2 flattered them a little bit, Betis as well. They did not, or they weren't allowed to play Betis. United played extremely well, and they're the sorts of levels that Eric Ten Hag would have wanted his team to be reaching by this point. They'll have to go one step further tonight.
A few changes to this Manchester United side that are going to take on Liverpool today, and I guess a couple of precautions in here. We'll just take a look at the teams now. Andre Onana starts in goal for United. Harry Mas continues at left back. Wan-Bissaka continues his role at right back. Change of centre half though. Evans comes in for Harry Maguire, who's left out as a precaution alongside Lindelof. Collier and Casemiro hold the midfield. Rashford, Mount and Ahmad behind Jaden Sancho up front. That front four could chop and change and be slightly different. We'll keep an eye on it as we go through the first 45 minutes. In terms of Arne Slot's side, a couple of changes for them too. Kelleher starts in goal. The changes at the back, Konate comes in alongside Jarell Quansah, Tsimikas and Bradley, the two fullbacks. Jones, Gravenberch and Elliott, the midfield. Carvalho, who scored against Arsenal last time out, alongside Jota and the other goal scorer from that game, Mohamed Salah, who'll play on the right wing as normal. It is a pretty strong Liverpool side. I thought we might see the return of Alexis McAllister tonight for them. He joined up with the squad this week, but he doesn't take any part. He's not even on the bench, Ben.
Yeah, I find that a little bit strange, to be honest with you, because obviously, like at Manchester United, there's going to be other players that are coming back from South America and from the Euros that are going to be back at Liverpool's training ground. I don't really see the point in him coming here if he wasn't going to be involved in some way, shape or form. That's not the case. We both know that both teams are going to be stronger when we meet in, 6 weeks' time.
Manchester United making a couple of changes in midfield. So Casemiro continues with the captain's armband on. Toby Collier comes in to replace Christian Eriksen. Mason Mount takes over in that number 10 role, which was played so well by Scott McTominay in the last game. I think Mason Mount has looked really sharp this pre-season. I really enjoyed the game against Arsenal. I'm hoping we can get a little bit more out of him again tonight.
Yeah.